Welcome to episode number 3 of U.S. Essential Business Podcast. As you may or may not know, LINC Systems covers 32 states, and those 32 states are divided by 4 amazing regional managers. And we're going to talk to each of the four today, and we're going to talk to them as to how they've been able to adjust, how they're adapting to working from home for the most part, and how they're keeping their team focused. So we'll go around the horn and introduce these 4 individuals. 4 amazing individuals too. The first one is Mr. Gary Mullins. He works out of the Northeast. Gary has been in the business for 35 years. Going over left of him in the country is Mr. Jeremy Hole. Jeremy covers the north and central part of our geography, and Jeremy has been in the fastening business for 22 years. Bill Carboy is the individual who oversees our RV area in Elkhart, Indiana. Has 5 guys on his team and has 23 years experience in the business. And Mr. Bruce Brook, the youngest to our team, the newest to our team, but comes with many, many years of experience with Stanley Bostich and has been with LINC for the past several years, but 25 years of experience in the fastening industry. So let's get our first question underway. And we'll look for Gary to give us his the first response here. How has COVID-19 affected the way that each of you personally conduct business, and how is it that you're able to adapt?
Well, Craig, it's a pleasure being on with you. Thank you for inviting me. This has been quite a challenge. Somebody who's used to being on the go, traveling a lot in front of customers and being with the guys face to face. So all of a sudden hitting a lockdown. And couple that with having a son that's a senior in college, a son that's a junior in high school, and my wife working out of the house, it's kind of a challenge. It took us a couple days to kind of get it filtered down where we all have our work areas, and we respect each other's privacy when we hear that they're on the phone. Sometimes it's not always easy, but we're managing and getting a lot accomplished. So I'm pretty pleased with how it's progressed.
Like Gary had said, been some adjustments. My wife and I, we have 3 kids, 1 in college and 2 in high school. And certainly with them coming back and taking classes online and no longer, being able to be at school throughout the day, it's definitely been a drain on the bandwidth. And, we're all trying to share the same internet and just like everyone else. But we've adjusted well. And certainly it's become, something that everyone's getting used to in that regard. Regarding work, I work out of my home office, so it hasn't been a major shift in that regard. The biggest change for me personally, though, has been just not being able to travel and work in the field with my team, as well as meeting face-to-face with customers. So we're making adjustments in that regard. But just like everyone else, we're adapting and adapting well.
To reiterate what the other 2 were saying, got 2 kids at home who are constantly on Zoom meetings with their schools. So I was able to see how the Zoom app actually works with 30 or 40 kids all on at the same time. So that was kind of interesting, and how well it was run really with the schools. Kids were paying attention, et cetera. As far as myself, I'm used to traveling 10 days a month. I'm gone 10 nights a month. So it's a little bit different for me because I'm used to being in plants. So I did have to learn to sit behind a desk and just be content what I was doing. But, I use that time setting up meetings through Zoom, emails, text, phone calls, a lot of phone calls with the RV guys. And basically every question I ask them is, the most important one is always, what can we do for you? What can we do? What aren't we doing? So I ask them that every time we call the buyers, is there something else we can be doing since we're not able to see you in the plants? And then basically just letting them know that, we're always there for them. We can do online seminars, safety seminars. I said we could do the safety seminars online if needed. Talk about PPE products, and we're actually quoting quite a few MRO products right now just to keep in touch with the customer.
Excellent, well done. How about you, Jeremy? You got 2 little girls at home, or young ladies, we should say.
Yeah, we've got 2 young ones in there. I reiterate what the guy said. I mean, it's real easy to get kind of mixed in what you're trying to do and accomplish. But you've got home full time. You've got the wife home full time, and she works at an office. So we've remotely set up an office here for her now, and with myself, like Bruce said, working out of the office is not a huge change. So we as Bruce said, I mean, adapting to the office life is not hugely different from what we're used to. But again, you know, we're adapting as well as everybody else is, and you know, personally trying to get everybody you know, the internet usage that they need to get their accomplishments throughout the day. A lot of Zoom calls, like Bill said, and just keeping engaged with the field, my customers, and you know, we're adapting well. But this is a different cycle in what we're used to doing, and we're getting by though.
Do you guys kind of see this thing kind of like, not that what we're going through now is going to be the new normal, but when we're out of this, I think maybe doing more Zoom calls and, you know, you taking advantage of this technology that we've really been forced into?
I agree 100% with you. And part of, you know, I guess we get into some other questions, is I'm really forcing my guys to learn Excel, Outlook, Teams, as I really think this is going to be the new norm going forward in a lot of cases, how we're going to communicate and make sales pitches to our customers.
Yeah. I'd like to probably take the next two questions, combine them, so they kind of fit with each other. So we'll talk about the opportunities that have opened up as a result of what we're going through, and how we're using this time, and how we're having our teammates use their time and do things that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise. So Bill, let's start off with you.
All right, for the opportunities during this downtime, I think the biggest opportunity is you're communicating with your customers weekly. So instead of seeing them once every 2 weeks, once a month, we're actually calling these customers weekly just to see what's going on, whether it be when's your plant opening up, or like I said previously, what can we do for you? I think it's building a better relationship, you know, with the customer, because they see we're there for them. And the Zoom meetings, I think, are actually easier to set appointments with these buyers than an in-person call. It seems like they're more prone to go ahead and set an appointment up maybe a week out. It might be a week out, but at least they're setting those appointments, where if we showed up in person, they usually don't do that. So I'm finding that this is going to be really beneficial for that end. The promos are the opportunities that we see weekly that Butler's sending out, Mark Bruce, Beltram, whoever it may be, because everybody's interested in the PPE right now. So we're sending that out daily. And then we've actually gained, we actually got a pallet account a couple of days ago, and we gained 2 new MRO customers during this period, because our competitors kind of dropped the ball and just left the customers sitting there waiting for things to open up.
Wow, good for you. Bruce, how about you guys?
And I'll take a little bit of different twist, you know, with a lot of our customers that have obviously gone idle, or at least, you know, closed for a couple of weeks. It's definitely freed up a lot of time for a lot of our guys in the field. So, you know, for us, it's been a great opportunity to really go back and, you know, take a look at our territories, take a look at our customer lists, you know, revisit, you know, via phone or Zoom or even Microsoft Teams, you know, reach out to some of the older customers that we had, maybe some prior customers, maybe follow up on some projects that have been put to the wayside in terms of timing. It's definitely opened up timing for not only our folks, but also a lot of our customers that may have not had the time prior to follow up on certain projects that were on the horizon. So, you know, we're looking at it, you know, take these opportunities and certainly the extra time and just focus on those, and then certainly use this time to better ourselves in terms of, you know, gain product knowledge. You know, a lot of our vendors have reached out and have done a really good job on vendor training through Zoom, as well as through Teams, and then also just some online portals. So that's been definitely beneficial, and something that we've now had some extra time to be able to focus. So not only from a customer standpoint, but also self-improvement, just utilizing the extra time that we might have to definitely better ourselves.
Excellent. Jeremy, let's go to you next, but I want to throw in the added question with you. You've just inherited 5 brand new associates with our recent merge, and then boom, this hits. So how are you adjusting with all of that? You have a new role, taking on a new team, and how are the new members adjusting as well?
Yeah, that's true. It was timing was everything there. It was interesting. We acquired some folks in the dealer business up in the north. I got 5 new reps, dealer focused. So it was all construction based. So it's kind of a different, you know, segment of business than we were used to in the pallet and other types of industry that we're doing industrially. So it was challenging, first of all, to adapt to that, but then have COVID-19 hit. I was unable to even travel with those guys at this point. So that's kind of like Bruce said, you know, we're we're stuck at home where we're used to being, on the road quite a bit. So it was, I was real excited about getting on the road and going to see, the new team, a whole new list of customers, a new industry for us. But we're continuing to adapt. The team is doing a great job keeping those, customers, opportunities in front of them, and the business is going well. But they're adapting well. I mean, that area of our geography is doing pretty well as far as the cases, and so they're able to get out and really go see some customers occasionally. But for the most part, they're adapting pretty well to the change. We as a company are adapting really well to the new piece of industry as well, and taking care of our customers in that way. So.
Excellent. Very good. Well, glad to hear that's going well. That's always a challenge, added challenge. I liken that like a perfect storm. It's hard enough to take on 5 new guys and get them acclimated to our culture and everything else that we do different than what they've been doing, and then have this hit all at the same time. But you're doing an awesome job up there. Gary, how about you? What opportunities have opened up, and maybe taken advantage of some things that you might not have before this hit?
Yeah, very similar to what the other guys said. A lot of time being able to spend looking at where we maybe lost some business or some gained some business over the last year. But really what I found, what I had never had time before that I've been doing now is a lot of webcasts. I know we belong to MDM. They put on a webcast every Friday afternoon, but I've been searching out, listening to how different distributors are reacting to this, and kind of integrating some of what I hear on that when I'm, when I'm with my guys, what other companies are saying in a similar industry, how they're handling it. So, I never would have had time to do that before. So, I probably spend, several hours a week. A lot of times it's at night, doing it, but it is, very eye-opening, and also amazing how similar other people's businesses are to ours that may not be in the same industry, but just in the same distribution, and what they're doing to keep their guys busy and also communicating with customers.
Nice answer. You left out the most important thing. You've had time to grow a goatee now.
Yes, I have. 56 years, I finally got a beard and a mustache.
Looking good, Gary.
Well, you may not see it after we come out of it. It'll be gone.
The wife might make you shave it.
Yeah.
You look good. Hey, next question, kind of related to what we've already talked about, but keeping our sales guys focused. They're used to being out on the road all the time, seeing customers. Some of these guys would, especially if they're in a tight geography and, big inner city, you can see 7 to 10 customers in a day. And now you're kind of stuck at home, and you look out the window, and it's kind of like the old, squirrel, right? And being distracted. So how is it you keep your guys focused? Are you assigning them specific tasks? I know we've integrated a recent CRM program, so we're really diving into technology. So how are you working with your guys that way?
Sure. No, as you had mentioned, Craig, we did install a new CRM at our company. And so not that we knew that the timing would be ideal, but honestly, given the break and the extra office time for most of our sales folks, it has been a great opportunity for us to be able to go in and clean up a lot of the data, make sure that all the information is in that certainly needs to be there so that we can properly communicate to our customers long-term. So that's definitely been a big benefit. The other thing too is in the fact that Gary had mentioned, we used to have Microsoft Skype and used to do, some meetings and conference calls, via that platform. Now we have Microsoft Teams. So a huge benefit has been now, instead of just doing a traditional conference call in number where everyone calls in a number and types in a code and, is on the phone, all of our sales folks, territory managers, territory account managers, and account managers now understand and have the capability to utilize Microsoft Teams and be able to do all the WebEx features and phone call functions and really learn that functionality of that tremendous software that honestly may have taken months for them to obviously adopt. So through this situation, we certainly been able to expedite a lot of that process, and it's certainly going to benefit all of them in terms of being more organized and certainly being able to reach out faster and be more efficient in the field. So, a lot of positives will come out of this as we certainly, work through, a lot of the things that everyone's kind of dealing with. And so a lot of those things, like I said before, may have taken a while for them to grasp. And this whole situation has definitely sped that process up.
Yeah, nice response. Gary, how about you?
Yeah, it's similar to Bruce on the teams. Took a while to get all my guys up to speed on that, but again, everyone is capable of making video calls, which I prefer to do now. With a lot of the guys now on their free time, I've asked them to either take online classes with Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, and also with Sphere One training classes. And when we have our calls, I kind of have the guys go through, especially the sales guys, give me an update on their territory, what's going on, what the percentage of the customers are doing, if they're up, if they're up and running, how are they, percentage wise to normal, how much are they doing, or the service guy staying busy, taking care of the customers. But also I have them post on our North page if they find any good training class that they can share with the rest of the team. And also the same thing if they stumble across any PK training that they thought was, a good class that they posted so the rest of the team can see it and also go on and, learn for themselves.
That is excellent. I love that idea of sharing because you're right. We're going to come across some nuggets, and why not share those with the rest of the team? That's great. Jeremy, how about you? How are you keeping your guys focused?
Yeah,
a specific task.
Sure, a lot of the same as Bruce and Gary, obviously, with as the aspect of the teams. It's new. We're all used to being in the field and on the road and getting a conference call and now with the teams and the video chat and the Zoom has been really a huge help because you can really dive in and dig deep into numbers and customers and share screens. So it's been important to be able to do that. On top of the trainings that both Bruce and Gary mentioned, I will say that our suppliers and vendors have done a great job of providing us some additional trainings on top of those trainings that we find online. I know we've had a few with some vendors, 3M, Max. Those kind of trainings are pretty crucial right now for us to keep us engaged and keep the minds fresh in our industry. So those have been really nice to have as a backup for some, like Gary said, my guys are doing some PowerPoint, some Excel. CRM has been huge for our team, especially the 5 new team members that just got trained on that last week and integrated. So that's pretty important, really getting that information updated. So we're just utilizing as much time as we can to really self-develop, improve ourselves, whether it be, personal needs on Outlook or trainings that way, or just, on our suppliers. So it's been a benefit to have this capability online, especially when guys are just used to being on the road grinding, and this gives them another avenue. Yeah,
no, nice answer. Bill, how about you? You got the smallest team, but you guys sure get a lot of punch out of that small team. So how are you working with your guys?
Yeah, I tell you what, it was challenging because 99% of our business shut down overnight. I mean, not one sale, I think, in a month. So at first it was clean your vans, do your parts. And then a week went by and I was like, okay, we got 2 more months of this. Now what?
Right. Yeah.
So I had to call the guys, which I talk to every day, and just basically say, you need to get on your sales podcast, 2-3 minutes, find guys you like that you can pull information off of. And when you go back into a customer, you can use that to sell MRO, into these customers, which, right now we're not doing real well because of the competition. So, maybe that'll give us a leg up when we go back in, is they're watching enough of these sales videos, which we talk about, to gain some access into those accounts, as well as going over Dan Stiff, STYP, the Selling to Your Potential, had them watch all those videos, had them actually write notes and send them to me so I could go through them, see if I could maybe add to what they're missing or didn't catch from that video. So I think that was a benefit. The Excel, the PowerPoint, they've been doing the same thing that the other guys have been saying, seminars, just so maybe they can start doing their own quotes.
The one thing we didn't even touch on is, the podcast is called Essential Business, right? What makes us essential business? Why are we still working? I know so many of our friends are not, because their job is closed because of the economy or because of the virus. So why are we still working? We haven't even touched on that yet.
With moving goods from coast to coast, and the biggest part of our segment is pallet. So that gives us a little bit of the essential need. One thing that and by the way, we have other essential businesses that we're supporting, and our company is doing a great job of keeping our team engaged and understanding what the COVID-19 is, means to them and whatnot. But one thing that we really didn't touch on yet, and I think it's important, is what we're doing to provide our team and our field the needs, the equipment, and this trainings to deal with this on a regular basis, with our customers. A lot of our customers are giving us guidelines, but we're also doing a great job of giving our team and our field guidelines on being safe, because quite frankly, that's the most important thing is being safe. Every day you're out there, because we've got some frontline folks out there on the streets every day in front of customers, taking care of business. But one thing that we do, and we're doing great, is keeping our team engaged in the safety and being healthy out there so they can go home to their families and continue to be safe. So I just want to point that out, because I think it's important to know that LINC Systems is doing everything they can to keep our family safe.
Yeah, that's probably been the most important thing. We're glad you brought that up, because we weren't going to end the call without touching on that. We've gained our reputation with on-site service, so we've got tools out there that need to be repaired. So our guys are going into these plants, going at it different ways. Gary, I saw one of your guys with a spray bottle of bleach, disinfecting tools laid outside for him. Is that pretty much standard operating procedure up there for you, Gary?
Yeah, since we were the first ones that kind of had this affect us, we set up some protocols that all the AMs follow. That first, they contact the customer before they get there to make sure they need to see them. And then second, that they put the tools in a location that we don't have any interaction at all with anybody in that facility. Most of the times they put it right on the outside door by a loading dock. Our guys go and grab it. We supplied sprayers and bleach to them. They spray down the tools before they work on them to make sure that they're clean. Then they go ahead and do the repairs. They spray them down again, and they put them back in the same place and contact the person inside, say, okay, your tools are done. This kind of, it provides safety for our guys, but also provides a safety towards our customers. That way there is no face-to-face interaction. We've had several customers that had to close down to fumigate, and because they've had people, they had their employees get contracted virus. So, every day, these are protocols that we have in place to make sure that they can be safe, our customer can be safe, and we can continue to take care of their needs.
Just, reiterate the message that the guys had said, stay safe, work safe, make sure that they're following customers' procedures and protocols. And oftentimes we may be there to help, our own customers, with some advice, if they certainly are looking for some. This is new for them as well. So, not only are we're trying to keep our folks, safe, but also too, we provide reminders to them and point out different things to our customers that might, actually help them out in a situation that might arise. But going back to one of the other questions that you had on the essential business, LINC Systems is deemed an essential business, not only because we obviously provide, fasteners, nails, and staples to the pallet industry, but also, a plethora of industrial supply products to all the essential businesses that are currently open. So it's been a nice benefit for us to not only, be in a position to take care of our existing customers, but also to reach out to other potential customers that may need a distributor to provide those needs.
I do think we need to thank LINC Systems, because there's a lot of my friends that are not working right now, not getting paid checks. And like you said, I think someone said it earlier, but they stuck with us. And so, I'll never forget this time, because it really helped me through this period. I don't know what I would have done if we didn't have LINC Systems at least paying our checks. So
that's a great point.
I think we all need to be grateful that, they kept the doors open, because when RV shut down, literally, I did not know what was going to happen to the five of us. Because, we've had no sales now going on 2 months. So I personally am grateful for LINC Systems for keeping the doors open for us.
No, that's great point. Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks for letting us, talk and giving our feedback, because, we cover a pretty large footprint of the United States, and some of us have had to deal with it more so than others. And we hope and pray that everybody is safe and healthy out there. But, we try as a family and when I say family, the LINC family, try to help one another and, do the things we need to do to keep our family safe and keep our customers known and well understood of what's going on and safe as well. So this was good to get some information that you see firsthand out there. So thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's certainly great to get together and see you guys, via Zoom. So it's always a good time, and hope everyone has a safe week and certainly a productive day. And we'll see you soon, hopefully face to face sooner than later.
I really miss seeing you guys in person. And the camaraderie, it's good to see each other on our Friday conference calls, but it's not the same. So someday soon, guys.
Yeah,
someday
right.
soon. All right. Hey, thanks again for getting on. Really appreciate it. Stay safe, keep your family safe. And I think Jeremy used the expression, the LINC family, keep those guys safe too. And I really appreciate the leadership role you guys present to your team. So thank you again. Again, I'd like to thank Gary, Jeremy, Bruce, and Bill for their time and insight on today's episode. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please forward them to cbellinger@linksystems.com. If you have an idea for this podcast or would like to participate in an upcoming episode, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you again for your time and attention, and please be safe, be careful, and above all, please be kind.